So Premier Allen, it seems to me, at least was forced to schedule that media briefing late this afternoon after the Herald Sun broke that news today that the new Westgate Tunnel will open on Sunday. It's a $10.2 billion project. A huge wraparound in today's Herald Sun signalled it would open on Sunday. But the government today was strangely not committing to a weekend opening when pressed on that this morning.
This is a big and complex project that has been worked on for many years. We're going through the final touches at the moment, but I'm not here to give you a date right now.
So is the paper roll?
As I said, I'm not here to announce the date here. I'm here to celebrate the opening of the Frankston Hospital on the 20th of January.
What a joke, and that's plainly bizarre. Finally, the Premier bobbed up with this announcement late this afternoon.
For local residents in this area too, it means getting trucks off local roads, getting 9,000 trucks off local roads, and for our big and vibrant freight and logistics industry, it provides that direct access into the Port of Melbourne, such a big part of Victoria's economy. Here we are delivering that long talked about, but it's taken a Labor government to deliver the alternative to the Westgate Bridge.
Notice all the nodding heads in the background. Here to explain what this new project will actually do is somebody who was part of the government's peer review of the traffic modelling that was done and the cost analysis. Transport Planning Consultant William McDougall. Good to talk to you again, William. How does charging a truck $95 to travel on the Westgate Bridge, which is currently free and onto CityLink, get them off suburban streets? I would have thought it would have driven them there in droves.
Yeah, well, you're right. I think it's very difficult to, if there's enough of a benefit to use the road, then it will attract the trucks, but only then, and only if you also make sure you've got curfews and other measures on the roads you want to get the trucks off at the same time.
You were deeply critical of this project from the beginning. You said that the figures justifying the expense on this project were flawed. It's not, and it's due to open Sunday. What are your initial thoughts here now that this thing is open? Is it going to do what the government claims it's going to do?
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see. It was the justification for it was based on what we term optimism bias in the planning industry, because
I love that,
because the work is done by people that want the project to go ahead, the proponents of the project. But in this case, that wasn't the case. It was the government assessing a private sector proposal by Transurban. So why it was termed a business case and why it was done with such optimism bias completely escaped me, as I was supposed to be there reviewing the whole process. And there were deep flaws in, I contend, in both the traffic forecasting and the economic appraisal, which works out how much of a return to the economy this project is going to provide. And these two things combined to paint a very rosy picture for the purposes of the government going ahead with it. They had already decided to go ahead with it even before they were elected. They were promising Transurban in secret that they were going to give it a green light. So why they bothered to do a sham business case, I really don't know.
I mean, this was all organised and planned and promised pre-COVID, and then post-COVID, obviously, we've had the situation where working from home has become much more of a common practice, and indeed the Premier is going to legislate to demand that employers give people who work in the city the option to take, at least 2 days work from home. So the traffic predictions would be much less, surely. I know the population's grown out there, but the need for a road project to take you into the CBD must be smaller now than when this was considered in the first place.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well. And as well as the fact that, you know, that it's Mondays and Fridays, I think, which are the least busy days of the week nowadays. So obviously the average weekday as a whole is much lower. And these models always forecast on the basis of an average weekday. It's very, you know, again, it's very skewed. I think the work that was done, although we weren't expecting to have a pandemic, but it was there was very little quality sensitivity testing done on how robust the answer was, even in those days. Usually, you do plenty of tests to make sure that your project would still stack up under a range of possible, you know, things, unexpected and otherwise. But yeah,
incredibly, it came in $6,000 million over budget. Right, quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it very much.